So today we will start that HTML. HTML. Today we will do the HTML. Okay. So HTML is the standard markup language for web pages. With HTML, you can create your own website. Easy learning with HTML. Try it yourself. Okay. That like in the Java, that we have a basic syntax. First of all, we need to create some classes and then the main method. Like have some syntax in the Java, like in the HTML, there is some basic syntax that you need to always write. That is the doc type. First of all, that doc type HTML, that is the mandatory thing. That is the mandatory thing. That is the doc type HTML. That doc type HTML, that is for, that will indicate that when you are writing on the first of all, in the very first line, the doc type HTML will be, you have to write that doc type HTML. That will indicate that the version of that HTML is that version of that HTML is that file HTML5 that you are writing, that your code you are writing in HTML5. Then HTML is basically depend on the tags. HTML is very easy, very easy, not complex like the Java and the other programming language. Actually, HTML is not a programming language. HTML is the markup language. That HTML is stand for hypertext markup language. HTML is not a programming language, it's a markup language, and it is very easy to learn. And that HTML, by using that HTML, you can create your own website and create your own website. And that HTML is basically depend on the tag and then some elements and some attributes. Basically, you need to remember a lots of tags that is available in that HTML. But if you are remembering that tags, all the tags you are remembering, then that means that you know HTML very well. And that tags, there are very different tags. That tag, the different tags have their different features. By using that tags, you can perform many things, that using that simple tags, that opening tag at the closing tag. There is some basic syntax, that is the doc type HTML. In the very first line, you need to write that within the greater than and less than symbol, that then the not sign, that the doc type HTML. That doc type HTML is stand for, because to indicate that you are using what the version you are using, that you are using that HTML5 version. Then that HTML within the greater than and less than symbol, that HTML you need to start. This is the starting of that HTML code, that HTML, and then the HTML closing tag. Within that HTML opening tag, that is the opening tag, and that is slash HTML, greater than, less than, within that greater than and less than, within that greater than and less than, and slash HTML, that is the closing tag. Any tag is starting tag will be like within the greater than and say less than symbol, and all the tags that have that closing tag, that the closing tag will be like that within the greater than and less than slash, then the tag name, that is the HTML name. And that is the HTML. Within that HTML tag, you need to write that head tag. That head tag, this is the heading of the website, and this is the, then the head tag also have the closing tag. Body tag, that is the basic thing. First of all, that thing, that a doc type HTML, then HTML tag you need to open and you need to close the HTML tag. Within the HTML tag block, like in Java, that we have learned, whenever we are creating a class, we are creating a method that have a block. That block is starting from the open, from by using the open curly braces and the closing curly braces. Like in HTML, every tag have a block. Every tag have a block, and that tag you need to open it, then you need to close it. Otherwise, you will get an error. And that within that, we can say that open tag and that the closing tag, that in between the place, that open tag and that closing tag, that in between that place, that can be the block, like in Java, that every method have, every class have, that method have block. Within that block we are writing something. Like in HTML, within that opening tag and that closing tag, within that place between that opening tag and closing tag, that tag, we can say that is also a block. So like that HTML tag you need to open and close, that within that HTML opening tag and closing tag, that means that within that HTML tag block, you need to write that head tag and head tag opening tag and head tag closing tag, and then the body tag. That is the basic syntax. That means doc type HTML, HTML tag, head tag, and that body tag. That is the mandatory thing of any HTML program. We will do how to code, how to learn, how to execute, how to run the program. HTML introduction. HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. I have told you that hypertext HTML is stand for hypertext markup language. HTML is not a programming language like Java, C, C++, PHP, Python, .NET. Those all are the programming languages. But HTML is not a programming language. HTML is a markup language. And HTML is stand for hypertext markup language. HTML is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML describes the structure of a web page. By using that HTML, you can make the structure of that web page. You can't make the whole web page by using that HTML, but using that HTML, you can describe the structure of the web page, the how will be the what will be the structure of that web page will be, that you can describe using that HTML. HTML consists of series of that element. HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. HTML element label pieces of content such as this is a heading, this is a paragraph. We will do, okay, a simple HTML document. Simple HTML documents. So let me tell you how to do that HTML. You guys are using VS Code, right? Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Am I
Hello,
audible?
sir. Hello, sir. Hi, you are audible.
Okay. Yeah. Am I? You guys are using VS Code or anything else editor?
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. We are using VS Code.
Here you are using VS Code. Like in the VS Code, we will show, I will show you later that how to record in VS Code. If you can do it, if you can run the very easy process, but today I will do using the notepad. That is the very basic thing. By using the notepad you can that in the notepad you can run Java program, but in the notepad, using notepad you can run the HTML program. And how to do it, let me show you. Okay. Let me copy this. Is my screen is visible? Everyone is can see the notepad that I have here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just this is the basic that normally what I have done, that basic thing, that doc type HTML, that indicates the version of that HTML that you are using, that you are using HTML5. That doc type HTML is indicating that you are using HTML5, and that HTML tag. Then I have closed that HTML tag. I have started head tag. I have within that head tag, I have used another tag that is a title tag. That is the title tag. Everyone can understand that title tag. What is the role of that title tag? Because that is the title of that tag. Title tag. Using the title tag, when I will execute the program, it will be more clear to you. Title tag, within the title tag, I have written that page title, and then I have closed that head tag. Again, I have started that body tag, and then I have started h1 tag. I will tell you later that what is the h1 tag, and that p, whatever that p tag have been opened, and then I have closed that p tag. Within that p tag, whatever you are writing, that thing will display as a paragraph. That p tag is a paragraph tag. Okay. And that h1 tag, let me tell you now that h1 tag is the heading tag. H1, there are 6 type of heading tag is available in the HTML. That is H1, H2, H3, H4, and H6. That H1, that here I am using that H1 tag. That H1 tag I have started here, and I have closed that H1 tag here. That H1, H2, H3, that 6 tags is basically heading tag. That means header tag. That means that H1, H2, H1 tag, that within that H1 tag that you are mentioning, that H1 tag, that will be the biggest size. H2 will be the smaller. We will see it later. That let me just, after that code I have completed my code, then let me save it. Demo, that the extension file, that extension will be the HTML, not txt or not any pdf or nothing. That the extension will be there, that the .html. You have to save that file by .html. Whatever, just give the name, give any name to your file, then you that extension, that the file type will be .html, and then saved it. Stop. I have saved it in the desktop, and whenever you have saved it in the .html format, look, in my is my desktop screen is visible to everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look, there are many files, that what file, like it is showing like that fast, but that here is a dxdig, that is the notepad file. It is showing like that, but that file I have saved it right now, that demo.html, that demo is become here, and look, that logo is become like a browser, because we have saved that file, that .html format. Just because that is a .html format, that the logo is became like a browser. That is, we can now, you just directly open it with the Google Chrome or anything browser, because that's the logo is with the Microsoft Edge. But I'm opening with it the Google Chrome. You can view it with any kind of browser. Look. Now, what I have done in my program is doc type HTML page title. Where is that page title gone? That is become just a name, that is the head. Then I have used that within that body, that is the body, that portion, that white portion, that is the body of that of your web page. That is the body, that total body is the, that total whole screen, that white body, white screen, that is the body of your web page. And within that body, what I have written, that within the heading h1 tag, header 1 tag, I have written that my first heading, and that p tag, that means the paragraph tag, within that paragraph tag I have written my first paragraph that have been put. Just because I have used an heading tag, that is an h1 tag, that's why within that h1 tag, that is the functionality, that H1 tag, that text will display like a heading, and it will be a little bit bigger. And that within that paragraph tag that I have written, within that paragraph tag, that my first paragraph that is showing, it is like a normal text. Are you getting that? What is the difference between that H1 tag and that paragraph tag? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Okay. That is the example explain that code of explanation. That doc type declaration defines that this document is an HTML5 document. The HTML element is the root element of that HTML page. That HTML tag that you are writing, within that HTML tag, you need to every time, each and every time, whenever you are writing in that HTML, you are coding in HTML, whatever you are coding in, that code you need to write you within that HTML tag, because that is the root element of a HTML page. That the head element contains meta information about the HTML page. That is the meta information, that is the title page title. And the title element specifies a title for a HTML page. Body element defines a document's body, that the body of your web page, that is the body of your web page. That body elements, that body tags, within that body tags, that whatever you are doing, that will come into your body, into the body of your website. H1, that H1 defines the larger heading. That P element defines a paragraph. Let me tell you that what is HTML element. An HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content, and an end tag. That if you are watching, if you can see that table, that start tag, element tag, and that end tag. That H1 tag is the starting tag, and that H1 tag, that is the closing tag. And within that opening tag and that closing tag, whatever you are writing, that is the element content, that is the element of that tag. That means my first heading, that is the element of H1 tag. My first paragraph, that is the element of that paragraph tag. And there is a BR. Look, every tag, there are some tags that don't have, suppose if HTML, suppose just an example, if there is a 100 tags in HTML, within that from that 100 tags, there are maybe 10 to 15 tags, they don't have any closing tag, but rest of the tag have the closing tag, like H1 tag, paragraph tag, title tag, body tag, head tag, HTML tag. All the tags, basically most of the tags have the closing tag, but there are some tags like BR, that is to break the line. That is like in the Java, or see, in the Java, we are writing that system.out.println, that println to break the line. In HTML5, using that BR tag, you can break the line. Understood? Using that BR tag, you can, suppose you are writing, suppose, let me show you one thing. Suppose within that paragraph tag, let me copy it and paste it many times. Okay, I have pasted that. What I have done, can you see that my screen, that what I have done is I am, that paragraph I have written here, I am like, it was like that.
স্যার লরাম দিয়ে তো করতে পারতেন।
হ্যাঁ
স্যার এখানে লরাম কাজ করে না?
না look, I have breaked it that my first paragraph I have copied it. Within that paragraph tag, I am writing in the separate line. That my first paragraph, separate line. But when you are executing that program, it will display like that. Look, I have separated in the many lines, but still it is coming side by side. Okay, to do that, to do it in the separate line, you need to do what you need to do. You need to you need to use that break keyword. That break. If you are writing that er okay, and I have said it. Now when you are running that program, look, can you see the difference? What the BR tag is doing? In the previous one, that BR tag, look, my first paragraph, I haven't used within the first to my first paragraph that was string, that I haven't used that break keyword. But in the rest of the but in the rest of the line, I have used that BR tag. By using that BR tag, I am breaking it into the next line. Are you getting the thing? That is the use of BR tag. Okay. Let's go next. That I have already shown you. That is the structure. HTML basic example. The doc type declaration. The HTML heading. Now that HTML headings are defined with the H1 to H6 tags. H1 defines the most important heading and H6 defines the last important headings. Okay, let's see what is the difference between the H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 and H4 and H6. Okay, let's see. The basic difference I am removing that paragraph tag. Okay, and that H1 tag. Let me save that, save it. Okay, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me run the program. Are you getting the difference? That this is the heading 1 that I have defined within that H1 tag. That this is the heading 2 I have declared it in that H2 tag, that is H3 tag, that is the H4, H5, and that H6. That H1 to H6, that is the basic difference. Getting? Hello, everyone. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is
Yes,
the
sir.
difference of that H1, H2, H3, H4, and H5, H6. By using that, whatever as per your requirement, as per your requirement, you can use that H1. You want to use H1 or H2, H3, or H4, H6. Whatever you want, that is the basic size. That is the size, because that H1, H2 is basically that number is increasing, that letter is become smaller. HTML paragraph tag that I have told you, that within that p tag, whatever you are writing, that will display as a dummy paragraph. And HTML link. HTML link are defined with the a tag, that is the anchor tag. That a tag, what is the use of a tag? That href, let me run this. Do this. Suppose every every website, suppose, let me show you what is the use of. Look, what I am doing within that anchor tag I have opened here, and I have closed that anchor tag here. And within that anchor tag and open tag in between, I have written that go to Google. Whatever the text you want to put here, you can write. Anchor tag is basically, you can you have seen that in any website, you are clicking in a particular letter. From that, it is redirecting to the another page. It is that link, that by using that anchor tag, that page, that suppose you are clicking on some link, that using that link, that if you are like when you are logging into the Facebook, what you are seeing, what you have seen, that login id, you need to put that login id, then that password, and then you need to click on login if you have an account. If you don't have an account, that time you need to sign up. Don't have an account, sign up, create an account. There may be an option that is a create an account, that is a word that was here, that create an account. When you are clicking on that create an account, after clicking on the create an account, it is redirecting to the another page or another website where you can uh, create your account. Like that, within that anchor tag href, what I am doing, href using, this is the syntax. Within that anchor tag open, when you have opened an anchor tag greater less than a, then href equals to, within the double quotes, you just put the link, that link you want to redirect. Suppose you have created a web page, and you have a personal website, or if you want to redirect someone to that any of the web page, that web page link, just put it here. That like I want to redirect it to the Google. So that's why what I have done, https://www.google.com. That link I have put it here. You can put any link as per your requirement, but the basic syntax you need to remember that anchor tag you are starting, within that anchor tag you need to use that href equals to, then the within the double quotes you need to put the link, and then you need to close the anchor tag, and that later is to indicate, you can put anything, any word, anything, any paragraph, anything you can write here as per your requirement. I have written that go to Google. Okay, let's see. After save it, then I have saved it and I am running the program. Look what I have written, go to Google. When I am clicking on that go to Google, that is redirecting to the Google. Are you getting the thing? What is the use of that anchor tag, and what is that href, what I am doing within that anchor tag, and what are doing in the href? Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the use of that anchor tag. HTML images are defined, that is the link to say that link I have completed. HTML images are defined with the image tag. Suppose you are creating an website, when you are creating a website as per your requirement, or that as per your client requirement, may be there that you need to add some images into your HTML page. You know, many tourist, if you are opening, if you are watching that any like tourist website, that from where you can plan your tour, that you want to Simla or you want to Darjeeling, that website have some lots of images. Like that, if you want to add some images into your website, that time you need to use that image tag. Within that one, what is the syntax? Image tag, that image tag, okay, that image tag don't have any closing tag. Like the beer tag, that image tag don't have that closing tag. And that the syntax less than img, the source file src, alternative text alt, width and height are provided as attribute. Okay, that is the tags src, that read alt, alternative, width and that height, that all are the, that name, that src, not the school.jpj, school.com, that 104, that 142, that are not, only the red marking, that src, alt, width, height, those are the attributes, those called are attribute. And every attribute have some different words. Like within that, when you want to add some images to your website, that time you need to use that image tag, that is img. Within, you need to open that less than img, then you need to use some attributes like that here, that href, that previous example that I have seen, that href equals to https www.wtschool.com, that link, that href is also an attribute, we can say. And that src, alt, width and height, those are the attributes, and every attribute have some different words. src, that src is basically source. Then when you are adding an images, that time you need to use that syntax, that same syntax, only the changes will be that src, that means the source, equals to, within the double quotes you need to give the name of that images you want to display on your website, and that image should be available in the proper directory. and that name of that images should be the same that image you want to show in the in the web page. That name you need to give. Then .jpg, that is the type, that is the .jpg format images. ALT equals to school.com, that is ALT alternative school.com. Why this? Suppose many browser, there are many browser like Chrome, Firefox, Firefox, Opera Mini, and Microsoft Edge. There are many Tor browser, there are lots of browser, and every browser have there some different restriction. Some browser supports jpg, some browser doesn't support jpg, some browser support png, some browsers didn't support that png format images. But that images, suppose if you have an image that is a jpg format, but that browser you are using, that browser doesn't support that jpg format images, that means that browser will, you are using, you are indicating that proper name, that proper with the proper source, but just because your browser doesn't support that jpg format images, that means when you are opening your website into that particular web, that particular browser, that browser doesn't support that jpg format images, that time, that alternate attribute will work. That image will not be shown, but alternate you can show that what is, what is actually what is available there. That image should not be there, but you are passing an name, or that you are showing that name, that school.com, there was a school.com, that was a, there is an image, but that image is not viewing, but that name you are, you can see. Alternate, when that image will not display, that time alternative you can show that word only. And that width and height, by using that width and the height, you can fixed that images width and height, that what is, what will be the width and what will be the height that images you want to show in your website. Understood? What are you getting? You guys are getting that what I am trying to tell you? Hello everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Am I clear to everyone that you guys all are getting now what actually I am trying to tell you? Okay.
Yes,
How?
sir, got it. But sir, some noise is coming.
What kind of noises actually? Can you just tell me?
ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে একটা চি চি আওয়াজ হচ্ছে,
Yes, yes.
ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে একটা মানে আওয়াজ হচ্ছে,
কেমন আওয়াজ হচ্ছে?
মানে সিস্টেমের মধ্যেই একটা চি চি আওয়াজ হচ্ছে।
ওটা তাহলে আমি ঠিক বলতে পারবো না এটা কি কারণে হচ্ছে। Okay. I just don't have that any kind of images right now, so I can. Okay, I have. Okay, let me show you. .jpg file. Okay. Whatever you want to do, you need to do it within that body part. Okay. img. Then what? src equals to src equals to, within the double quote, you need to mention that the name of that and .jpg format, and then what you need to use, alternate tag equals to that lt equals to, within the double quote, You want to just the name I want to show. Then what is the thing? Width and the height. Okay, let's see. width width equals to 104. That is equals to very good 104, and that height h height equals 142, and I am here the image tag 20. Look, my image have been inserted into my page. Are you getting? That's how you can, by using that width and
Yes, sir.
by using that width and height, you can increase that width and the height. Like if I am giving that 500 and that height will be 400. That's as per your requirement, that how much you want to look, that height and that width have been increased. Okay.
Yes, sir.
HTML attribute, I have told you that HTML attribute, all HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional information about the element. Attributes are always specified in the start tag, like in the image tag, that like here that href, that the attribute is specified that when I have started that anchor tag a tag, right? Okay, that href attribute I have told you. Image, that width and height attribute, I have told you how to increase the width and height. Alternate attribute, alt attribute, that alt attribute for the image tag specifies an alternate text for an image. If suppose I have given that Bhutnath B I am removing, that means that name it's not matching with that image. That time that image will not be found by the browser. So that time what will happen? That image will not be displayed. But alternate Bhutnath wallpaper for desktop 7, that text I am displaying. When that image is not able to get by the browser, that time that text will be that alternate within the alternate tag that I have written, that will be displayed that time. And that image, just because I have inserted that image, but that image is not getting, that's why that symbol is coming, and that Bhutnath wallpaper for desktop 7, that is saying that thing is showing. That's the thing of that alternate tag alt. The style attribute. The style attribute. The style attribute is used to add style to an element such as color, font size, and more. That style attribute is basically for that something like here paragraph tag style equals to color red. This is the red paragraph. That paragraph in that previous example, what we have done, we have started the paragraph tag and then and end up the end the paragraph tag. Within that paragraph tag, I have written some dummy text, and that text is I am displaying in the same. But when that like here that h1, h2 that have a different there, that is displaying in the black. Suppose if you want to color all the heading as per your requirement, that time you can use that style equals to color red or anything else. Let me do this. Let's see. Not only in the paragraph tag, you can write it in any tag to style the thing. Okay, like here I am using it into the h1 tag. Okay, and I am using it into the h3 tag. Then I am using it in the h5 tag. And when I have saved it, and let me reload it, it is not getting h1, h2. Sorry, some mistake I have done. Okay. Look, in the tag that I have used, that style equals to the in the double quote color red. In the h3 tag I have used and h5 tag I have used. That tag I have used that style attribute. There that color of that text have been changed. Are you getting? Okay. Chapter summary that all HTML elements can have attributes. The href attributes of anchor specify the URL of the page the link goes to. The src attribute of image specifies that the path to the image to be displayed. The width and height attributes of image provide size information for images. The alt attributes of image to an alternate text for an image. The style attribute is used to add style and elements for color, size, and mode. The language attribute, that two things you can keep. Okay. HTML headings H1, H2, H3 that I have told you already. Okay. Headings are important. Search engines use headings to index the structure of the content of your web page. Use often skin pages. Those are not important. Bigger heading for that using the bigger heading. Each HTML heading has a default size, like that H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. That heading tags when you are using, every tag have their default size. When you are not mentioning any kind of size from your end, till that time that every heading tag have their default size. But if you don't want to use that default size to that heading tag, that time you can use, you can make changes to the heading. Like that H6 is the one of most smaller tags, most smaller size in default, by default the smaller one. But I want to make it a little bit bigger. That time that I have what I have done, H6 style equals to within the double quotes, like that color red we are using here. I am doing is front dash size colon then 60 pixel 60 px, that 60 px, that is the size I have mentioned. Let me save it, and when I will execute that, the sheet, this is heading 6, that size, the default size should be changed. Let's see what happens. Look, that 6, that h6 header tag, header 6 size I have used, but I have made changes on the size of that header 6. Now that header 6 is became the biggest size in the from the all of the headings. That how you can make changes on the size of that, size of any text, not only heading, you can change size of the paragraph or anything. HTML paragraphs I have shown you already. HTML horizontal lines. Suppose like if you want to, like this is the heading. Let me do some, yeah, let me Suppose let me remove that thing, and if here h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, in between everything, in between that tags, there is no line. This is the heading 1, this is heading 2. If you want to add a line in between in every paragraph, this is heading 1 and this is heading 2. If you want to add a line, horizontal line, if you want to add, that time you can use that hr tag. That hr tag also don't have any closing tag. That hr tag you need to just use it. That's like how you can just mention that hr tag whenever you want to use it. Like here I am using, here just I am mentioning hr, and when I'm saving it, and let me look, that horizontal line have been done. If you are adding in that every part v into the hr tag, there also hr tag, hr tag, and and I want to add a horizontal line in everywhere. So that's how you can add, by using the hr tag, you can add the horizontal line in between a paragraph, or wherever you want to add or displaying a horizontal line, that time you can use that hr tag. By using that hr tag, you can add some horizontal line. HTML line breaks, I have shown you already that using the dir tag, that paragraph in the very first, if you are adding within the p tag, if you are adding something, dummy paragraph you are adding, that will display like by default. But if you want to break it into the next line, next line, next line, that time you can use it by using that dir tag that I have told you already. But suppose that paragraph tag, let me copy. Control V, that within that paragraph tag, I have given some dummy paragraph. I have added some dummy paragraph within the paragraph tag block. Okay, my bunny lies over the ocean. My bunny lies over the sea. That paragraph, and I have given some spaces in between every word. That mine, then extra spaces, bunny, extra spaces, lies, extra spaces. If I run that program, it will not display like the same that I have written in the program. Let me execute it. Look, it is coming in a line. But if you want to display it as it is, you have written within the paragraph tag, that time you can use that pre elements defines that pre-formatted tags. Okay, instead of that p tag, you just need to put that pre, which paragraph tag is also a paragraph tag. That pre tag is basically for pre-formatted tag, and within that pre tag, whatever you are writing and however you are writing, that dummy text will be displayed as it is. Let me check it if it is working or not. That pre, sorry, pre, and I am closing that pre. Control S. In the previous one, using that paragraph tag that was coming in a line, but when you are refreshing using the pre tag, that pre-formatted tag, how that the way you have written, that paragraph will be displayed as it is, look like that. Okay, that is the difference between a pre tag and a pre tag, predefined tag. HTML styles. HTML, the HTML style attribute is used to add style to an element such as color, font size, and more. Okay, I have shown you already that how to change the color using the style tag. That style equals to property value. The property is a CSS property, the value is a CSS value. Okay, that style, that the way you are increasing the size, the way you are coloring the text, okay, those all are the CSS property. That CSS, that HTML and that CSS both have the both have huge difference, but they both are interconnected. By using that HTML, that hypertext markup language, using that HTML, you can make the structure of your website, and using the CSS, that is the cascading style sheet, using the CSS, that you can style your HTML elements. You can make changes on the size, you can color it, or lots of things using CSS you can do with your HTML elements. Background color. The CSS background color property defines the background color of an HTML element. Suppose by default that your web page, that background is white. If you want to change it to any other color as per your choice, so how can you do it? Let's see. That body style equals to background dash color powder blue. Let's check it. Control C, and that body, where you need to do it? Body tag. How to change the background color? That thing you need to use, that style attributes you need to use within the, like the paragraph tag in the h1 tag, to color the text or the paragraph, where you are using the style attribute within the starting tag, that h1, then style equals to that color you want to use. That then like that in the body tag, where you have started, you have started that body tag, I have started here, you need to mention here that body style equals to background color is powder blue. Okay, let me run the program and let's see the changes. Look, the color of the body background color have been changed to the powder blue. Any color, just give the name of that color. And one thing, let me tell you how you guys can pick up a color by using the color code. Okay, I will show you later that using the color picker, you just type in the Google, or just type in the Google that color picker. From there, that every color have their different code. Instead of the name, like here I have written that powder blue, instead of the powder blue, that powder blue color that have a different code name, and that code name you can pick up. Let me show you right now. Look, and let me open the Google Chrome, and just simply type yellow, that color. And one thing, can anyone tell me what is the color spelling is? Hello?
Yes, sir.
COLOR.
Yes,
COLOR.
COLOR.
that's the basically COLOR. That actually color spelling is COLOUR, right?
You are, ha.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
in
sir.
the HTML, you will not COLOUR. In the HTML, you will use that COLOR. Okay. If you are writing that color, suppose where here I have written that background color, that COLOR, that powder blue. If you are writing COLOUR, that will become false and your program will not be executed. I have changed the name that to the COLOUR. Now that became false. Are you getting that color, that spelling in the HTML is different? Okay. So let me change it to the previous one, then save it, and let me run the program again, and look, the program has been run. Okay. Just simply doing the color picker, COLOR color picker. Look, every color have the different. Look, I am writing. I'm taking that color. I'm taking or suppose I want to take that color. Look, that color has BACG34. Just copy that color code, paste it to the paste it here. Okay. Let me run the program. Look, using the code you can change, because can anyone tell me that what is the actual name of that color? Can anyone tell me? Look, and that color have been here some light, here some dark side. That color, can anyone just tell me that what is the name of that color? Because we don't know all the name of that color. So as per your requirement, just simply go to Google and just simply type color picker. From there, you can choose your color as per your requirement. Suppose you can choose your any color you can choose, and just simply copy that hexadecimal code. Just copy that code and write it in the write it here, that color, that code, and simply paste it and save it and run it. That color will be displayed in your background or anywhere you want to use. You can not only with the background color, you can change the text color or anything, any color you wherever you want, you can change the color as per your requirement by using that hexadecimal code. Okay. Text color, I have shown you that how to change the color of the text. Text size, I have already told you that how to change the text size, that font size. Just you need to, that is the attribute. See the difference between the tags and that attribute. Tags is the H1 is the tag, P is the tag, style is the attribute, href is the attribute, src is the attribute, alt is the attribute. Those are all the attributes. Okay, so that attribute, always you remember that attributes have to use within the starting tag. If you want to change any attribute, that means that attribute you need to use within the starting tag. Like here, I want to change the size of that h1 heading 1 tag. That size, that default size, I want to change it to the 300%. So by using the style equals to font size 300%, that attribute I have used it within that h1 tag, where I am starting that h1 tag. After writing the h1 then space, then you can use it. Type the text align. The CSS text align property defines the horizontal text align for the HTML element. Okay. Suppose in the default way, this is heading 1 that is displaying in the left side of your screen or the left side of your website. If you want to move it to the right or move it to the middle, that time how you can do it? by using the text align. Using the text align, you can change the position of your text. Let's see that h1 style equals to color red text, or let me change do it in the h2 tag. Okay, style equals to text align colon center. I want to move it into the center, and let's check it if it's working or not. Look, that text is became to the in the center, and using the text align, you can change the position of the text, your images, anything. By using that align center, you can change the position of your text, images, or whatever you want to move it to the another place. HTML text formatting. HTML contains several elements for defining text with a special meaning. Okay, the text is bold, the text is like there is a bold, italic, and there are many kind of things. HTML text formatting, that B tag, that strong tag, that I tag, that B tag, within that B tag you are writing whatever you are writing within the B tag, that means that will display in bold format. Strong is an important text, that is a bold and strong. There is that B tag and that strong tag, like that, they don't have a huge difference. Okay, let me tell you. Control C. Then I'm writing that strong tag. Strong will also make the bold, but a little bit different. I don't know. Can you identify it or not? Let me check it. A little bit different. Look, this text is bold. This text is important. Both I have defined. Let me here add some break tag, BR tag. Using the BR tag, we can differentiate. We can break it better. Look, can you change the difference in between? What is the difference between that bold and that strong tag? Not a huge difference. Either you can use that B tag or for bold text, or you can use the strong, that is the important. Understood? There is not very much difference between the bold and strong. Other tag is I tag is used for italic text, EM for emphasized text, mark for marked text, small for smaller text, del for deleted text. Okay, del for deleted text. Okay, let's see that del for deleted text. Mark element text. Okay, what is the mark element text? Mark element. Let me check it. V. Do not forget to buy milk today. Okay, Control S, and the display. What is this display? Look, don't forget to buy milk. That milk I have been. Wait just a minute. Let me. That body color I am removing. Okay, so you can that everything will be. Now you can understand that don't forget to buy milk today, and that milk I have written within the mark tag. That means I have marked some particular text that is mandatory, that will be represented by highlighting. Don't forget that milk have been highlighted. Okay, highlighting something or marking something, use that mark tag. Then that del delete, that is the HTML del element defines text that has been deleted from a document. Browser will usually strike a line through deleted text. Okay, let's see that del tag, how it used that del. Okay, one should see that del how it is. And look, my favorite color is blue, red, and that blue I have written within the del tag. That should be that blue. Let's see what is the del tag is doing. What is the del tag is doing? Look, my favorite color is blue, red, and that blue I have written within the del tag. And just because I have written that blue within the del tag, that is a line through blue have been spotted. Okay, understood. What is the use of that del? What is the use of mark? HTML comments. You can add, suppose you are writing some code and you are writing some 1000 line of code, and after 1 year, after completing your code, after 1 year, it is definitely you will forget that which code is for what purpose. That time, for your help, also for your help, if you want to write something that tag, suppose you are forgetting that you are learning HTML5 today, you are coding all the tags using that HTML, and you want to make a comment by or if for your purpose, so you can understand that previously, that like let me show you example. Okay, and look, suppose I am writing that, let me clear all the things. Here I am writing something, this is a comment, remember to add more information here, and that greater than that sign, that dash dash this, and dash dash less than, ending with, starting with that, ending with that. That is a, and in between that, whatever you are writing, that will not, that you can see only you, that will not display in the on your website, because this is like a comment. That paragraph tag within that paragraph tag you can see, but that comment only you can see, that in your website that comment will not be displayed. Look, this is a paragraph. That paragraph tag, within that paragraph tag, whatever I have written, that is only, that you can see only. That comments you have added, that comments you have added, that is for your help only. That is for your help. That is not for the that is not for the user, or that is not for anyone else. That is just because for you, for your help. That if you want to add some comments for your help, for that reason you can use that, that greater than, less than, dash dash, and that's not fine. Suppose here you are, what you are doing, that particular, this is a comment, that particular line you want to comment, particular that line you want to comment. Suppose if you want to comment more than one line at a single time, if you want to comment that 100 line comment, if you want to do that time, in every line you need to write that thing, that sign, and that sign you need to write in every line. Instead of that, for commenting multiple line, there is a way that simply you can write that in the first line and the last line, like that. Like here, suppose look within that comment paragraph tag, this is a paragraph and this is a paragraph I have written here 2 times, but it is displaying by refreshing that thing, it is displaying only 1 time. Why? Because from here to from here I have comment that 3 lines. By using instead of that single line, I have used that in the starting from where I want to start my comment and at the end where I want to end my comment. Just need to give that sign. By using by this way, you can comment multiple lines. And inline, that is the particular within the tag. If you want to comment something within the tag like that, control V, paragraph tag, this great text is a paragraph and that great text, particular that great text, I want to comment it within the within the text, or you can also comment something like that. Let's check it. So the output will be this is paragraph because that great text I have commented out. Look,